steeple of St. Paul's Episcopal Church with their bell, and we are on the corner of North A and US 27, so you'll probably notice the traffic in the background. But we have a bell, another Buckeye bell, which is actually very similar in style to the Central Methodist bell.
Almost identical.
Yeah.
It's 37 inches in diameter at the lip of the bell, which brings it in about 1,000 pounds. Again, it was manufactured by G.W. Kaufner, the Buckeye Bell Works down in Cincinnati. It's like Donna said, it's almost identical. I don't want to say it is identical.
It's the harps and the cherubs. Except for this one doesn't have
the date.
The date.
We don't have the date. So.
Yeah.
So we did determine that the one at Central United Methodist was 1853. It was actually marked. This one, according to the coverage in the paper when they remodeled this building in 1892, they talked about the original building and everything, and they said that this bell was placed here in 1846. So that would definitely make this one older.
And the oldest one we've actually seen so far.
So far.
Right,
Yes.
so far.
Right.
Okay.
I kind of think probably the oldest, I would imagine.
I would imagine. I mean, this is the oldest building, one of the oldest buildings in the entire city, so yeah.
It's also the oldest building still being used for the original intention of which it was built as a church, and it's still being used as a church.
So this one hasn't moved all over town like lots of others have.
That's true.
Wow.
And according to the coverage, this bell has probably stayed right in this spot since 1846. Certainly from 1846 to 1892, and I can't imagine they did a whole lot of movement of it. It doesn't look like it's been dragged around too
1,000
much.
pounds.
Wow, that's great.
So
Okay,
that's
so
really kind of cool.
what was the size on this one again, Joe?
37 inches in diameter at the lip. The lip would be the very bottom of the outside diameter of the bell.
And that means, what note is it?
A.
An A.
An
Okay,
A.
can we hear the A?
We'll hear the A. We'll use the striker with the tolling hammer, which on the other
Okay.
churches, by hand, they come from the bottom up and hit the inside, and this one's electrically operated, so it goes from the outside. So here we go. Hold your ears.
Oh man, listen to that. I am so amazed at the clarity of it. It just sounds so pure, and obviously they really knew what they were doing when they were making,
I think so.
yeah, the materials.
By that time, they figured it out.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we're lucky in that this bell is in such an open area, so we can really take a good look at this mechanism. And in our research, you found out, Joe, that there was a relationship between...
How big the wheel is compared to the weight of the bell. And it's physics. We need the big wheel so the little 100-pound person can get this thing a-rolling. But this one has been electrified, and it's currently got some trouble with the cables that hasn't been taken care of. It's going to be. I can roll it by hand, so
All right, give it a shot.
we'll do that.
Here we go.
And it keeps on ringing.
It does, and from this view over here, it looks just like the bells on the front part of It's a Wonderful Life.
But it didn't. It was quiet at one point, and Sue has
Well, yeah.
a story with that.
Actually, that's a great tie-in. When I was doing the research for this, one of the index entries just simply said church bell silent. I thought, okay, well that's got to be significant. I'll make sure I get that one. And it turns out it was just a two-line piece from 1893, and kind of what it says is that well, in fact, I have it here. Owing to the severe illness of the members of James L. Morrison's family, the bell of St. Paul's Episcopal Church will not be rung for the present. Now, for those of you who might have seen some of our previous programs, the one back in the summer, we were up in the courthouse and we were in the circuit court room, and we were talking about the Morrison will case.
Mm-hmm.
And the Morrison will, the deceased person in the Morrison will was James Morrison.
The one they're talking
The
about.
one they're talking about right here. Well, the thing is, James Morrison lived right there on the other side of this block, on the corner of 9th and Northeast. So the old,
Okay.
Church.
yeah, the old YWCA building. So that's where he lived. And so if you can imagine, you know, if you've got two people, because James and his wife both, they died within the month after this article came out. And if they are seriously ill, can you imagine having to listen to that every hour or however often they did it? So, yes. So they
silenced the bell, but can you imagine having that much authority? That's a lot of power.
That the whole church
You will not ring the bell.
No, they didn't. It was something out of respect that the people
There you go.
here.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Plus, I think the other thing that might be, there's a couple of really good things to bring up here, too, in thinking about this. People did not have the enormity of sound invading their lives the way we do now. So sound in itself really carried. I mean, it would have been extremely prominent. But the other thing that's interesting is the fact that the bells ran everybody's lives. So not having the bells, you know, the parishioners would have had to been really aware that they needed to be
and in fact, that is the last line of here. It says, parishioners will please take notice. And I know we'll be talking about it more a little bit later, but yeah, people didn't have wristwatches, and so they ran, you know, they were telling time by the church bells. Certainly St. Andrews and certainly on this side of town, this bell right here. So they were just telling everybody, you know, we're not ringing the bell, so you need to find your own other way to tell time.
Now,
Listen for St. Andrews.
Do we know if Morrison was a member of the parish? Or did they just do it out of courtesy?
Stand by.
The gauntlet has been
That's
thrown.
right. Don't worry, I'll find out. I'll find out. It's possible. I off the top of my head, I don't know, but I will find out.
Well, I think we should let Joe ring the bells one more time so that he can work on getting his wings.
There you go.
Here we go. We hope you've enjoyed this special program of Historic Richmond today, visiting the bells of the historic churches here in Richmond. We've certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. It's been quite the adventure for all of us. On behalf of the Historic Preservation Commission of the City of Richmond, we'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas.